Where are my blessings? That's the title of today's message. Where are my blessings? Malachi 3, verse 8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have I robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse. For ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring all the tithe to the storehouse, and there will be meat in my house, and proves what was the Bible saying that this is proof. Go ahead, put God to the test and see if He will not bless you. Of course, what God also does, He allows you to get many tests along the way to see if you're still trusting Him, and how far will you even trust Him. Prove me now, dear rest of the Lord, that I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out the blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Now think about this. How big is heaven? Very large. And let the windows of heaven open up and start raining on your tiny house. How much blessing is that? How much blessings are you supposed to be expecting to receive? So where are your blessings? Well, question number one. Are you involved in the tithing system? But we have the flip side. That's what the message is really about. We have the flip side where there are individuals who have indeed been following the tithing system. And they are expecting their blessings. But yet they are not seeing their blessings. And they're thinking, she's on bread principles of a liar, man. No blessings come yet. No blessings. Where are my blessings? I've been giving my tithes. Some of them are saying, I've given my first tithe, second tithe, and prepared to camp. I can't even get to camp. I can't even get to camp, and I've been putting aside my camp money. Now, there are some persons who believe that they're so smart they can trick the system. Just giving your tithe and offerings is not enough. Turn to Proverbs 3, verse 5 now. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. And it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct thy paths. Verse 9. Honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thy increase. In other words, give your tithe again. And what will the result be? Similarly, as we saw earlier, the windows of heaven, so shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. So there's blessings in the Lord in the tithing system. So what is really tithing? Tithing is coming to a point where you have said, Lord, I trust you. Children who say, Mommy and Daddy, I love you and I trust you. But they refuse to obey. Part one was what? Trust the Lord and lead not to your own understanding, and all your ways acknowledge Him. But the children don't want to acknowledge Him. Part of acknowledging Him is obey your parents, honor thy father and mother, that thy days may be long in the land. Part of the blessing that God has for you is long days. What does that include? Honoring your parents. If you can't honor your parents, you're not following God's plan. If you can't follow God's plan, how can you expect long life and peace to be added onto you? It doesn't work that way. So, even though the windows of heaven are open, is it possible for you to create a bubble around your house? Create a bubble around your family, so that when the blessings come, they bounce off and go to others instead of going to you? Is that possible? Isaiah 59 verse 1 and 2 says that the Lord's hand is not short that it cannot save, or his ear heavy that it cannot hear, but our iniquities separate between you and your God that he cannot hear. Our iniquities. So even though we may be given our time, because of the life we are living, we can be still blocking the blessings. So because of the time system, the windows of heaven are open, the blessings are coming down and raining down, but they are passing us by. King Saul said, just spoke with Samuel. Samuel said, okay, we have an issue to deal with. We're going to meet at this location. You're going to come, I'm going to come, and we are going to give praises to God and an offering. When he got to that location, he said, where is this guy? Look, this guy says he's a Christian, right? He's a Christian. And the man is late. What kind of Christian comes late to such a spiritual meeting? It's so shameful. You should be ashamed of yourself. You know what? I'm going to do the sacrifice myself. And he was there waiting for 7 days, you know. It wasn't like he waited for an hour. He waited 7 days, basically. Then comes Samuel over the horizon. And Samuel was like, wait. But man, what are you doing? Oh, you were late, right? So I'm here starting the service. Okay, so who are you again? Well, I'm the king. Exactly. You are the king. What part of you is a priest? You know, priest? You're not supposed to be doing this? I told you to do what? Wait. Well, you see, you were taking a bit long. And you're like, no, be happy. I have to honor God. And what Samuel said to Saul, he said, listen, it is better for you to obey than to give sacrifices. What's the tithing system? Sacrifice. The tithing system is all about giving sacrifice to our God. But what's the point of expecting that you will be blessed by God if, as you are giving your sacrifices to God, you are in disobedience to Him? It does not work. And Samuel said, have the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord. As in obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. See, all those children who want to be rebellious to their parents, it is worse than witchcraft. And stubbornness, what you're being stubborn for, is iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected me. And here is a man who is saying, I want to honor God by giving him special service. And God is saying, you're honoring me, I am rejecting you. You have an example of that? Cain is there saying, I am going to honor God today, and I'm going to sacrifice my fruits for God. And doing so is in total rebellion against God. God can't honor and respect it. You think you're being blessed? God says, without a shadow of a doubt, you are under a curse. And if it doesn't happen now, sooner or later it will happen. Look, let's turn our Bibles. Hosea 4, verse 1. The Bible says, my people are destroyed for what? A lack of knowledge. Is it that they didn't have the knowledge, or God didn't share the knowledge with them? That's not the case. It's that they had the knowledge and they rejected it. If you were born, especially if you're born into a family, and you have the opportunity to receive special knowledge from God, and you reject it, you will be destroyed. But your experiences will destroy you. For my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. God thought you rejected knowledge, I will also reject you. And thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. Children are suffering because the parents refuse to listen to their parents. Suffering. Children that should not be suffering are experiencing hell because the parents refuse to submit themselves to God. As they were in prison, they said against me, therefore I will change their glory into shame. No matter how long it takes, you will experience immense shame. Verse 10, for they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. It is going to happen. Verse 17. And so, Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. That's going to be the final point. No matter how much tithe and offerings were given to a church, if you refuse to obey the Lord in your doings, the blessings will not touch you. They're not coming. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Verse 19. The wind hath bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. So these are people giving tithe to the church. They're sacrificing to the church, and yet they will still be ashamed. See, God is not interested just in your sacrifices. Instead, furthermore, it becomes like a stench to him. And then, more verse 17, charge. To what purpose is the multitude of your tithes and offerings? Your sacrifices unto me, said the Lord. I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fat beasts. In other words, tithes, spiritually. And I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of goats. You see, God doesn't really need your money, you know. He doesn't need it. God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He owns the universe. He made the gold and the silver. The tithe system is really for us. When we think you're going to control God's hand while you're living in sin, it won't work. When you come to appear before me, who have required this at your hand to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and the Sabbaths. See the Sabbath? You're saying, Lord, I'm sacrificing this one day for you. I am going to church on the Sabbath day, the Sabbath. God says, you're wasting your time. Because where you are, I'm not there. Because you are rejecting me. So what are we coming for? You are rejected. Way no more oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and the Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with it. It is iniquity. Even the solemn meeting, even coming to church here, it is just iniquity to God, and you're not interested in it if you're not interested in doing things the Lord's way. Your nibbles and your appointed feasts, my soul hated. They are trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Yet when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Some people are saying, I am praying to God, I am praying, but they're still living in disobedience and in sin. God says, what? Don't live home with no one. Marriage, what God is saying. Marriage. Don't expect that you'll be receiving the blessing of God when you're living in sin. It won't happen. So you're saying, I am praying to my God. My God is hearing, He isn't hearing, He isn't listening. As you sit there in iniquity. When you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. So what he's saying? Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Stop. Stop what you're doing. Give it up. Give up your sin so I don't have to give you up. It's what God is saying. God is what He knows. The moment He gives you up, you are destroyed. God is basically pulling onto you for the sake of penance. Give it up. Stop your evil and do what is good. Amos chapter 5, verse 21. It says, I despise your feast days. Imagine this God watching people in church and saying, you guys sicken me. It's sickening to watch you pretend to be Christians, but you're living a nasty life. Sickening. I will not smell you. And so discussing even what he's in the God is in the soul of the family, holding his nose. You! What are we doing? Though you offer me for offerings and your many offerings, I will not accept them. Though you give tithe, you will not accept the tithe for giving. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take away from me the noise of thy songs. I will not hear the melody of thy oils. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as the mighty stream. So is this saying that God doesn't want us to give our tithe offerings? No, it's saying He wants us to change, accept Jesus Christ, and then forgiveness is given to you. Like Jesus said, I do not condemn thee, but go sin no more. Stop your sinning. And then give the tithes and the offerings, so that the blessings will flow and hit the right direction. Micah chapter 6, verse 6. And it says, wherever shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before the high God? Shall I come before Him with burnt offerings, with calves and your own? Whenever shall we come to church and offer offerings to God? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams or 10,000s of rivers of oil? In other words, will the Lord be pleased with $1 million? If I come to the church with $1 million of drug money, would that make God happy? Or prostitution money? God won't be pleased. He doesn't need the money. God is considering there already. He owns the whole universe. That won't please Him. He wants your heart first. The tithe and offer systems is for us more than for God. Shall I give my firstborn for my transgressions, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? We have shown thee, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. God values, what does God values? God values genuine righteousness, justice, mercy, and obedience over ritualistic sacrifices and religious ceremonies. It's interesting that our life is aligned with God's will. That's what He cares for. So what was the statement? Go sin no more. You're asking, Lord, where are the blessings? God is saying the blessings are right there, right? You just take it. Take the blessings. Stop the nonsense you're doing and take it. It's right there waiting for you. It's not very hard. But step one, give up the nonsense you're doing. And step two, simply prove me by giving the offerings. But don't give them the offerings and live a nasty life. You have to do both. And so we see there's a list of reasons why our blessings are stopped. One, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to your own understanding. Our blessings are blocked because we're not trusting in God fully to solve our problems. God says, when you have problems, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. But we're not standing still. And God usually gives us a period of time to see if we'll pass the test of standing still. Some persons, that test is a little longer than others. For King Saul, his test was 7 days. For Abraham, 30 plus years was his test. We had to stand still and see. But there was Abraham. Let King Saul choose already. He called himself God, he's very tardy. What kind of God tardy like this? He let him just promise. Shame on you, God. Shame. So I will take it into my own hand to fulfill your promise and go and sleep with another woman, which is outside of what you said, but I must make your promise to pass in my life for myself. I must do it myself. And what happened? God came, and here you see, look, God, here's my promise. My son. God is like, who that? I ain't give that to you. That was not my promise to you. I will give you the promise I promise you. And you see, the thing was that originally, that promise was for all this land was supposed to be for that son. In the end, what? Now we have the sons fighting over it forevermore for all eternity up there in Israel. Instead of causing a solution, Abraham caused an eternal problem. And so what was the result? In order for you to fully experience your blessings, Abraham, I'm sorry, but you have to be willing to give up the nonsense you chose instead of it. You have to allow the born woman and the son to depart. Sometimes to fully experience the blessing of God, you have to allow that to happen. You think you're being blessed? Give up the bond woman. Then you see your blessings start to go. Give her up. Proverbs 5, 8 to 9. Let's go quickly. Proverbs chapter 5. Verse 8. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel. Let strangers be filled with thy wrath, and thy labours be in the house of a stranger. And thou mourn at the last when thy flesh their body are concerned. These are what's going to happen to you if you're not willing to give up the born woman of your life. Proverbs 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is the light, and the reproofs of instruction are the way of life. To keep thee from the evil woman. To keep thee from the evil woman. Put her out. From the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman, lust not after her beauty in thy heart. Neither let her take thee with her eyelids. Batter her eyes. Amazing, some good men. Good men. David. Beautiful woman on a rooftop. Oh my goodness. So wait the one night, all the principles he stood for all his life. To think, here is King David, who wouldn't even touch the hem of a king's garment, saying, oh, this is evil to just touch his hem. And because of a woman, he's there committing murder for a woman on a rooftop. There's King Solomon, ask for wisdom. Oh Lord, give me wisdom. And God said, I'm going to give you all the wisdom you want. Probably wisdom includes having one wife. Excellent, God. You know what? This wisdom you gave me, I think 1,000 is a good idea. Take the gift of the Lord, take the gifts of the Lord and put them and abuse them and have to suffer the consequences. Have to suffer. There was Samson. Even though he met blessing of God and then fell, woman after woman after woman of gods that God did not choose. God says, hey, I want you to not be unequally yoked with unbelievers. But he says, though I have the blessing of God in my life, she pleases me well. She pleases him well, and then she goes and makes a mess of his life. How many of our good men are going to continue in this trend? And women, same thing. Put the poor man out. The poor man, men have to go. Have to go. 1 Corinthians 6, verse 8. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18. And it reads, flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committed fornication sinneth against his own body. What? Do you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost, which is in you, which ye have of God, and ye are not your own? In other words, if you're living in fornication, why would you think that by giving your tithes and offerings, that God is going to bless you when you're literally ignoring the words He's saying to you to live with righteousness? It won't happen. Can't. Sorry. I don't condemn you. Go and sin no more. So in conclusion, in my last final moments, 2 Timothy 2, verse 21. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 21. If a man therefore purge himself from these, he shall be a vessel unto honor, sanctified and meet for the master's use, and prepared unto every good work. So flee also youthful lust. He's imploring you, he's begging you. Not that he's going to destroy you, but he knows these things will destroy you. They're going to destroy you. But follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace, with them that call on the Lord out of your heart. See? Notice, with them that call on the Lord, in other words, you will have to change your friends. Change what's influencing you to do evil. Let go of the wrong person. Go to Chronicles 7 verse 14. Your Bibles, Chronicles. First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, sorry. Second Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 14. If the people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven. So see, God is right there, ready to bust open the doors of heaven. He's just saying, come on, just tell me, man. Say, open the doors, open it. Thank you. Just open the doors. So he's waiting. Are you ready to allow the doors of heaven to be burst open on your regards? And that will forgive their sin and will heal their land. In other words, all those curses that were coming upon you, where you're working and not seeing any money, you're seeing the money go into your pocket, and before you put your hand in your pocket, the money gone. See that verse? God's going to heal your pocket for you. He's going to stitch up your pocket. It says, cast away from you all your transgressions. It's a two-part process. See, there was a king, names to me, but there was a king. And he was about to go to war, and God said, you know what, don't worry about that, just stand still and see. But Paul standing still, before he said stand still, he said, set yourself in order. If you are about to receive the blessing of God, before the blessing of God can pour out, you have to set yourself in order to receive it. If God says He's going to open the windows of heaven and rain down the blessings into your life, don't come to the location where the blessings are raining with a small cup. A small cup. You're going to get a little bit of blessings, and any at all. Most of the blessings will hit the rim of the cup and fall out. No. Set yourself in order. Your mind is the storehouse, and God is going to fill with wisdom to accomplish the work and to make your life better. But if you have junk filled in and there's no space left, there's no room to receive it. So set your house in order by eradicating the transgressions out of your life. So cast away from you all your transgressions, whereby you have transgressed, and make you a new heart and a new spirit. For why will you die, O house of Christ's Church, ethnic church? Why will you die? Heavenly Father, we are seeing the evil around us, but we feel so weak to be able to give it up on. You said, this simple burden may seem hard, but give it to you. So Lord, at this time, I'm giving myself, my family, and the members of this church who are here and giving ourselves to you, Lord. Take away our transgressions. Help us to give them up once and for all. Lord, replace these evil desires that we have with fresh new desires that would cause us to grow. Lord, where we have earned, we seek your forgiveness. And we thank you for the forgiveness you've given to us. We are thankful that you said, Lord, you don't condemn us. Even though we have lived an adulterous life, even though we have lived a life of cheating and stealing, Lord, we thank you for your forgiveness. And Lord, we ask you to help us from this day forward to go and sin no more. In Jesus' name.
So, when I think of the word soul, it was a pleasant familiar sweet. S means get rid of sin. O, get rid of offense. U, get rid of unforgiveness. L, love and live long.